What's up YouTube, it's your old school expert, and today we are continuing the trip down memory lane. We are getting a little bit closer towards the end of classic Yu-Gi-Oh! With the release of the first edition set of Dark Crisis. So Dark Crisis was released back in December of 2003, so it's pretty old, going on what, like 17 years. So I would say Dark Crisis is one of my least favorite of the classic Yu-Gi-Oh sets, but it has grown on me a ton in recent years. I used to really not like it very much, but as the years have gone on, I've kind of become to appreciate the artwork a little more and what it brought to the game. So Dark Crisis, a little bit like Pharaonic Guardian, didn't bring a whole lot of immediate staples to the game, but it did release some pretty good cards, and one of those is Vampire Lord. Vampire Lord, at that time, the only card that was stronger that competitive players were really playing was Jinzo. So Vampire Lord, as most of you probably know, if it's destroyed by a card effect and not by battle, then you can special summon it, I think, during your next standby phase or at the end phase or something like that. So he keeps coming back unless he's destroyed by battle or removed from play. So that was a really good card. It was a great effect back then, and it made things like Pyramid Turtle very, very useful, and zombies started seeing a ton of play, even in the competitive metagames. So Vampire Lord definitely was a huge contribution from Dark Crisis. It also introduced the Guardian cards, so I was never crazy about them, but there's a lot of Guardian cards in this set: Guardian Bao, Grarl, Seal, Elma, and then of course they've all got their equip cards, which we'll see here in a little bit. There's Chaos. So Reflect Bouncer, that's probably my favorite card in all of Dark Crisis, because not when Dark Crisis came out, but when Chaos Monsters came out, I was running a Reflect Bouncer because it was a little bit difficult to find decent light monsters for your Chaos Emperor Dragon and your Blackluster Soldier. So that was actually pretty decent light monster. It's a 1700 beat stick, and then it acted kind of like a magic cylinder when your opponent attacked it. Shinado is a pretty cool card. That's one of those cards that's grown on me over the years. Dark Flare Knight, an awesome looking card. I've always loved the artwork on Dark Flare Knight. Can't really see that, sorry guys. There we go. So Dark Flare Knight has some very cool artwork. In fact, I think he deserves being brought out of his page so that we can gaze upon the awesomeness of that artwork. Very cool card. Not great for dueling. You could bring it out with like Magical Scientist or Metamorphosis, but not the best of the fusions to choose for those cards. So moving on, Exodian Necros is the cover artwork card. So cover card. Exodian Necros never really saw competitive play. I mean, it's not a horrible card. I think its effect, if you're able to pull it off, would be very difficult for your opponent to deal with. It's a very difficult card to deal with overall, or it was back then. But just getting it out to the field appropriately, it was very, very difficult. Take a lot of time, and just not really worth it. Mirage Knight and Berserk Dragon, both really cool cards as well. DD Warrior Lady, that's one of the cards you could probably consider was a staple released from Dark Crisis, one of just a few. Butterfly Dagger Elma, this card is still banned today. It's looped with so many different combinations because when it is sent to the graveyard, it goes, well, I don't know, it might have to be equipped. Let's see. A monster equipped with this card increases attack by 300 points when this card is destroyed and sent to the graveyard while equipped to a monster, so it does have to be on the field. This card can be removed, can be returned to the owner's hand. So it immediately goes back to your hand when it's destroyed. Gearfried the Iron Knight was one of the combos with this because you could just keep equipping it, sending it to the graveyard, and then if you have like a Royal Magical Library on the field, then you just keep drawing. So that would be like an infinite loop if your opponent can't stop your activation. So this card, it's just nasty, and it's good that it's still banned. And here are the other equips for the other guys, the other Guardian equip cards. Some more on this page. Token Thanksgiving, pretty weird. Ojama Trio, a great card, not a staple, but a staple for burn cards. And even today, burn decks. And this is even a staple in today's versions of like Chain Burn. This is definitely a good card because it makes your Just Desserts and your Secret Blast way more effective. Kaiser Glider, not a card I really enjoyed. I think it's a Kaiba card though, so I guess, I don't know, people like that. Cost Down was a pretty cool card. Again, didn't see a ton of competitive play, but it's a decent card, you know, pretty decent effect. Oh, Skill Drain, of course, how'd I miss that? Skill Drain was an amazing card. I think you can have one now in the metagame. I don't think it's banned, maybe it is, but I think you can have one, but it's a very good card. It's basically just a floodgate, just stops everything. I think this set actually introduced the first Ojama, which was Ojama Green, and then Black, I think, came out in IOC, maybe Yellow too. I don't remember which came after that, but I think only Green was in Dark Crisis. Archfiend Soldier, so another vanilla 1900 attacker, and it was dark, so that was good. Great Maju Garzette was actually decent for like going for games. So if you had a clear board or your opponent didn't have any monsters, and especially if they didn't have any spell or traps face down, then you could tribute for this guy and he'll do a ton of damage. Not a great card, but not a bad one either. This set also introduced what I like to consider as one of the very first true archetypes, which were Archfiends. So there's a ton of different Archfiends in here, and they all kind of circle around the same, they all have the same kind of effect where you have to pay life points, and then they have their effects. And then you use Pandemonium to keep them on the field. And then, of course, Skull Archfiend of Lightning, a very cool card. Not a great card. I think it probably could have been like a super rare instead of an ultra rare, but it's a very cool looking card. So that's, you know, it does have that going for it. Tsukiyomi, that's a GOAT format staple. And I remember playing this a little bit before GOAT format. So it wasn't bad before then. But again, not really a staple until GOAT format. Then it became pretty much every deck was running it because it was very useful. Dark Master Zork, pretty cool card. And it has a decent effect. It's actually not that bad a card. I think it's a level 8, so if you can get it out there, pretty decent effect. Drag Down in the Grave was a lot better later on, but when this set was released, and it wasn't that great. Another awesome card. I love this card so much. It's Final Countdown. It is probably the only card that is like this, where after activation, so you pay 2,000 life points, and after activation, 20 turns later, you win the duel, if the duel is still going. So there's no other card like it. I think it's limited to 1, which is cool, so you can still play it, and there's all kinds of good stall stuff. It's really a matter of drawing this early enough to play it and start that countdown. When this was at 3, you could do that fairly easily, but there wasn't a whole lot of great stall stuff, so you really had to do your best to stall your opponent out for 20 turns. Now it's kind of the opposite. You can only run 1, but there's so much stuff out there that will stall and probably get you the victory. It's just the matter of drawing into your final countdown because there's not much that'll search for it. And then the final page, Sakretsu Armor. This was kind of the poor man's Mirror Force, but then later on when stuff like Dark Hole and Raigeki got banned, this was seeing a lot more play. Again, another GOAT format staple card, because it was just an easy 1-for-1, and it could get rid of some big monsters like Blackluster Soldier, you know, or Air Knight or something like that. So again, when it came out, a lot of people were using it in casual play, but because there was enough destruction with Mirror Force and then, you know, Torrential Tribute, plus you had the magic cards like Raigeki and Dark Hole, you didn't truly need Sakretsu Armor. And then Judgment of Anubis was another card that just didn't see a lot of play, so it was a cool card. I think the artwork on it is really nice, but I don't remember even ever seeing this card be played competitively. So that's Dark Crisis. Again, it was one of my least favorite sets upon release, but it's grown on me a lot because it's got some cool stuff. The Archfiend cards are very cool, and it's got some other great things to offer. And then, of course, you know, I played Yu-Gi-Oh! Back then, so I was still playing very, very much in the competitive scene, and I really enjoyed it. So thanks for watching this, guys. I hope you all enjoyed it. I hope you enjoy Dark Crisis. And as always, stay tuned for more awesome Yu-Gi-Oh! Videos.